Joining me is Jette Cander. She's from the Crawford EMA. In fact, she's the director of the Crawford EMA.
Yes,
Good morning, Jette.
Good morning.
Crawford EMA. What is it? Well, first of all, what does EMA stand for?
It stands for Emergency Management Agency, and we also have Homeland Security on the end of that. So.
Okay, and then what all is involved with EMA? What all do you guys do?
So we are a county entity, first and foremost, and our job is to protect the citizens of Crawford County. So instead of just having my family, I have a family of 43,000 people is the way I always look at it. Our job is to kind of the 10,000-foot ceiling view of what is needed within the community during disasters and every day. So we're here to prepare for, recover from, you know, we have the whole phase of I guess I'm trying to think of all of the things.
There's a lot. You guys have a lot, right?
There is a lot. There is a lot. I'm sorry. I'm
no,
zoned out first thing in the morning. But it's planning. That's one of our biggest things. Resources, say, good examples, if you go back to the flooding that we had in 2007, 2008, ice storm as well. If it gets to a presidential declaration kind of thing, and that's where people usually confuse us with FEMA, our job is to help bring them in to serve the citizens for cost recovery, for getting their homes back in order. We host them. We will host FEMA. FEMA and EMA are two separate things. FEMA is federal, we're local. Our actions are always about our local citizens.
So like we just had floods not too long ago. I mean, if it was a really bad flood, then you guys would come in for that, correct?
We do. So the flooding that we just have was very localized, but it is our job to keep track of that with the Weather Service as well. So there's kind of a different thing. Make sure that they are, what we're seeing on the ground is what they're seeing at their facility, issue watches, warnings from that. Same thing with snow. You know, we keep, people get us, we kind of get pinholed into things at times because they'll see our Facebook page has nothing but weather on it for a time. We'll try to put the preparedness stuff in there too, because public education is a huge part of what we're supposed to do. We're also part of, we do the LEPC, which stands for our Local Emergency Planning Committee, and that is, we keep the chemicals that are within the county that are hazardous, extremely hazardous, get reported to us, and then we're part of the Right to Know Act. So if people need to know where those things are at, we help them plan to evacuate or stay in place. You know, that's kind of, you know, there are several varieties of things that we do along that line. That meets 6 times a year.
So if a manufacturer uses some hazardous chemicals, you have to know about it, right?
Yes, if it's over a certain quantity, they have to report it to the state, and the state sends those reports to us so that we know how to prepare first responders for what's held in our county.
In case there'd be some kind of leak or something going on. And
you
know what, you never know what's going to happen.
You don't. Look at the train incident that we had. We call it planes, trains, and automobiles, jokingly. Nothing like that's ever funny, but we had a several car pileup on 30, plane accident, and the train derailment with the methyl ethyl's of them all. And you know, they all came at the same time. So everybody says disasters never happen. Well, they do, just when you're not expecting. And it's our job to look worst case scenario and hope for the best. So we plan for worst case scenarios within the county, whether it's chemical, weather, man-made.
So if you guys would, someone had to be an evacuation, you guys are kind of in charge of that?
Right. So what we do is coordinate with the other agencies. I can't say that we're ever in charge of something, but that is where our relationships with the community comes into real action. So we don't just see our law enforcement, fire, government officials from time to time. We're constantly in communication, so that way when something does happen, it's not the first time we've all worked together. So we know how to work.
So I guess rather than say in charge, you guys coordinate, correct?
We are the coordinators of resources, and yes, it's the perfect way to put it.
How long have you been involved with the EMA?
I've been there 17 years, 15 and a half as a deputy director, and then just this last year and a half as director.
So God forbid we ever have another blizzard like they did in '78, you guys would be, that's what you guys would do, right?
That's what we'd be doing, is coordinating everything, down to the minutia of making sure that the townships are keeping track of how many hours their truck works in case there's money to bring back to the community. The flooding was a great example. Mitigation is one of the things that we do. So we worked with the city of Bucyrus and took down homes here, and I believe in Galleon. And so those homes cannot flood anymore down
Oh,
by the
wow.
park.
Yeah,
So,
right, yeah.
that's what is considered mitigation for us.
Okay.
Or moving, water heaters to the first floor.
Yeah,
Things
okay.
along that line.
And even, you guys probably would even work with the Red Cross if to set
We
up
do.
shelters and stuff, right?
We
Okay,
do.
okay.
That's changed a little bit for them, and that's
Mhm.
probably a whole show you could do with them, but,
Yeah. I do have them coming on in a
yes,
couple
great.
weeks.
Carl's a great guy.
Yeah,
So, we do work health department, all those
Mm-hmm.
agencies. I think we all have a little bit we all carry our own plans,
Mhm.
but we're fortunate in this community. They all kind of merge together and we work together. You don't have that in some of the larger
Right.
cities. So, I think that's why I enjoy it so much.
You ever have to get with other counties? Maybe it's like on the border of a county or something.
We do. It's
Yeah,
kind of nice that
Yeah.
you should say that. So
Yeah.
we're working on a mass fatality plan. I know
Okay.
it sounds exciting, right?
yeah.
We're working on it with the central region. So
Mhm.
what we're doing is, in case something would happen, say in Crawford County, and maybe it would be a mass fatality over 50 people, and we would need a coroner to sign off on things and help the reunification of family and items. Working with this mass regionally, it allows us to have worked with the communities around us before then, and we
Mhm.
could bring in another coroner, bring in another EMA director, and same with us, we could be deployed elsewhere.
Sure, okay.
It's a close drive, because everybody has a little bit different resources, and getting to know
Mhm.
besides your own is important.
So a lot of coordination going
A
on. Right?
lot of coordination.
Right, if somebody wants to follow the EMA, how can they do that? Do you guys have a website or?
We
social
do,
media?
well, we do mostly Facebook pages for it
Mhm.
right now. So it's Crawford County, Ohio EMA, because there's more than one Crawford County. And we do post like snow levels. We try to stay on top of the weather and warnings there. It is not monitored, but if there are questions, we try to get back to them. Our Facebook page is in transition at the moment, but we do have one. We like to post the LEPC meetings and things
Mhm.
along that line there. But enjoy working in the community. It's a good spot to be. Never the same thing 2 days in a row, and I enjoy doing stuff like this with you guys because
It's great.
I've not gotten to come up here, so it's wonderful.
It's nice, and I don't think it's nice because people probably do not know what the EMA does.
They
I did
don't.
not know.
No,
Yeah.
because they see us as like, because we help coordinate 911 as well, so
Mhm.
they see us in all these different little spots, but they're not quite sure everything. So we always kind of laugh when somebody asks us what is it we do.
Mhm.
We always say we're like the plate job. One of the former EMA directors, we're like the plate spinners. Our
Right.
job is to keep all those plates spinning.
It's a good way to look at
It
it.
is. It really is, and and that's a big responsibility. But one well deserved, and I love giving back to the community, and that's why.
Even when alarms go
There
off.
you go. Even when the alarm goes. At least it wasn't the bat phone.
Exactly. Like I said, I've had it happen to me. So
I know.
Well, Jen, it's been a pleasure talking to you. It's been nice hearing what the Crawford EMA does.
Thank you very much.
I look
It's
forward.
been my pleasure.
Thank you. Look forward to having you in again. Okay.
I would love to come talk about weather and Skywarn Week, which we have coming up in March, so we can talk about that later.
Yeah, that's coming up. We're coming into
April. It's in April. Severe weather
coming
awareness.
into tornado time. Aren't
Yes,
we? Believe it or
yes.
not, because we're almost done February.
I
already.
know it. It's amazing.
All right, Jen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.